Okay. Hello, good morning, everybody. I'm so excited to be here with you all today. I'm Madeline Kelly from Ellevate Network, and I'm really excited to talk to you today about Ellevate and all the benefits that it can give you and why you should join us, really. So Ellevate Network is a professional women's network, and we're really here to support you in both your life, your personal life, and in your career. And it's really all in an effort to help you and other women advance in the workplace. So today I'll be going over what Ellevate is, what it is that we do, how you can best use a membership with Ellevate, some upcoming events in your local area, a couple of networking tips. Then we're going to do a quick run through of the website so I can kind of show you some tips and tricks for how to use it and some benefits for that. And then we'll end with a brief Q&A. So if throughout this presentation, if you have questions, you can just go ahead and type them into the little chat function. If you're using the computer, you can go ahead and type them into the chat function, and I'll answer those at the end, unless they pop up and it's fairly timely for what I'm going over. And if you are calling in, then maybe I would suggest just writing them down, and then after this presentation, I'll send you a little note, and I'll answer any questions at that point. All right. All right, first I kind of wanted to just sort of set the landscape and kind of look at what is happening right now for women in the workplace. So what we currently know is that companies in the top quartile for gender diversity are 15% more likely to outperform their industry norm. We also know that companies whose senior leadership teams are at least 50% female perform 70% better than other companies. And yet still we're seeing that women account for an average of just 16% of the members on executive teams in the U.S. Why is that? Well, 67% of women said they need more support building confidence to become leaders. And we see that in the stats. So 73% lacked the confidence to ask for a promotion, and 65% lacked the confidence to request a raise. These numbers are clearly compelling, and they're the reason why Ellevate exists and why having the support of an external network will help you build the confidence to get to those next levels in your career, and actually they really will help the bottom line at your company as well. Okay, so a little bit about Ellevate. We were founded in 1997, so we've been around for a while. This is our 20th year of existence, and we've really grown and changed a lot throughout the years. We started off, we used to be called 85 Broads. I don't know if that rings a bell to anybody, but that was formerly our name. And then Sally Krawcheck, who really doesn't need any sort of introduction, but she was once referred to as the most powerful woman on Wall Street. She bought the network, and then we rebranded in 2014. So we did this because we kind of outgrew our roots. We were not just kind of limited to New York City and a specific industry. So we really became very diverse as far as where we were located, as well as the industries that were represented and the levels of business that our members were in. So, young professionals all the way up to the C-suite level executives and partners. So we really wanted our name to reflect our members and in the diversity as well as their continued support of one another. So at Ellevate, we believe that women are incredible, and we're working hard every day to close the gender achievement gap by supporting women in all that they do. We believe that networking and lifelong learning are the keys to business success. Studies show that networking is the #1 unwritten rule of success. So look no further. They also show that your next business opportunity is more likely to come from a loose connection than a close connection. So, somebody that you meet at a networking event or, something that's a little bit more informal is actually going to be benefiting you a lot more than maybe one of your best friends who seems like a more obvious connection. So that really just goes to show the power of networking and how it's really important to create those connections, even though they might seem a little bit far off at the time. So Ellevate will provide you the tools and the resources that you need to succeed in business and in life through 3 ways. So connect, learn, and invest. These are the ideals that you'll see throughout a lot of our communications, and so I would just, kind of get familiar with those, and those are kind of the really key points that we focus on. Okay, so our community. We have over 40 chapters globally, so we're a really large network. We have, the U.S. is definitely our primary market, so we have chapters in most of the large cities. New York City is our headquarters, so this is certainly our largest, as it's just been around the longest. But we also do have wonderful chapters in Boston, Silicon Valley, Atlanta, the MC Triangle area, Chicago, and many more around the U.S. And then London and Dubai are probably our largest overseas chapters, but we do have other ones as well. And I also want to point out that your membership travels with you. So when you join as a member of Ellevate, you're kind of associated with one particular chapter, so whichever chapter you're closest to, but you can, really belong to any of them, and anytime you're traveling, you can take advantage of the events happening wherever they might be, or if, you want to travel somewhere and meet some people in that area, there's a really great opportunity to do that. In our network, we also have a great deal of corporate partners. So they include Fidelity, Accenture, Uber, IBM, Jefferies, Charles Schwab, and many, many others. So Relias is in really good company. Our members are really high achievers. They're very diverse, and they're a really friendly bunch of people. They're always looking to meet new people and help support them as well. I know I'm a little biased because I do work here, but I really do have to say, when I first started here, I was blown away by how supportive and kind and wonderful all of our members really are. And I travel around to the various chapters, so I really can say that through experience. And we also represent women at every professional level of their career, like I said before. So it's really a good way to develop those cross-level relationships and connections, no matter what level of your career you're currently on. We also are here to help you identify and develop your goals. So whether that's to become a thought leader or get on a board, potentially just learn new skills, or just expand your network. So you really have to take the time to think about where you want your career to go. And then next step is to figure out what your pain points are. So what are the places that are kind of stopping you or that you're having some trouble on? And then really figure out what those are so that we can help target those areas and give you the extra support and education that you might need to help you pass those and get to your career goal. So the questions on the right are really the types of questions you want to be asking yourself to figure out what it is you want to see your career move into. And then the stats on the left are just some fun stats about our network. All right, so like I said, Ellevate Network is a membership community, and so there are various levels of membership, and they're really catered to where each woman is in her career. The emerging level is really, really great. So at this level, you have access to view all of our online content and really take advantage of all that content. So the types of material we have online would be our articles. So we have thousands and thousands of articles on all varying topics, because the network itself is so diverse, so too is our content. So there's really something on there about pretty much anything you can imagine. We also have a great deal of webinars. So we host our webinars, we call them jam sessions. We host those once a week live. So our members can tap into it right away. So we actually use the same platform, which is called Ready Talk. And our members can log on to the webinar and watch it live and interact with it live. So when the presenter is doing their presentation, they're able to type in their questions, have them answered real time, and also connect with the presenter afterwards if they so choose, if it's something that they really would like to continue the conversation about, or potentially do mentoring or something like that after the presentation. It's a really great way to do that. But also all of our webinars live in an on-demand library on our website. So if you ever miss one, or you just want to go back and see other webinars that we've done, you can always go back to our website and go and see what other webinars we have and watch those on your own time. So whether that's at the gym or on the weekend, or at night or during lunch, whatever it might be, it's a really great way to take advantage of some interactive learning. We also do host videos. So we signed a contract with one of the largest live stream companies during the summer. And so we are going to be live streaming one event per month. So they're generally going to be some of our larger events and, with really phenomenal speakers. So that way, if you're not able to make an event, let's say in New York, you're able to really still tap into the event, see what's happening, and still be really engaged, even if you're not necessarily in, currently in one of our New York chapter or something like that. The last thing that we do have on our website is our podcast. So we have two podcasts. We have a podcast on iTunes, which is free to anybody, and it's called Ellevate Podcast, Conversations with Women Changing the Face of Business. That's a really great podcast. If you haven't tapped into that, I would definitely recommend it. It's incredible. We've had a lot of really good feedback. We started that this summer, and they're really, really, honestly incredible podcasts. And I do have to say, a little shout out to me. I'm featured on one of them, not for too long, but I am on one, so that's sort of exciting. But we also do have a podcast for members only, which we call the Ellevate Essentials podcast. And this is actually on our website, which I'll show you where to find those. And they're actually going to be some guided podcasts led by Sally, who's our chair. And they're just going to kind of help you navigate during the beginning of your membership and, helping you build a personal board of directors and some networking tips and things like that. So some really great resources on there. The emerging level, although it says here for young professionals, it's not necessarily for young professionals. It's just, it's really for anybody. This level is $100 a year typically. However, Relias is investing in you and your careers, and so they're actually covering $50 of a membership for you. So this level of membership is actually only going to be $50 for the entire year, and that gives you unlimited access to professional development resources, education, support, and events through the whole year. The second level is the Achiever, so you have the same access as Emerging, but at this level you can really start kind of developing and participating. So you can write articles for us as well as Huffington Post, and you can also lead our webinars at this level. Excuse me. So this level is typically $250 a year. However, because Relias is paying for $50 of it, you're able to have access to this level for $200 a year. The third level is the Executive Council level. This is, like I said, for the senior leaders, the managing partners, the directors, and this is for the women who are leading business, who want to connect with other women at the top and give back to women who are moving up through the ranks. There's a lot of special kind of perks at this level, same as below, but you also can speak at our Ellevate events. You also can be featured on our Ellevate podcast on iTunes. And there are some special events at this level that we call Executive Council meetups, where you can get together with other senior leaders and do business with them and issue process. And they're smaller get-togethers, really actionable, and a great way to kind of, talk with other women at the same level. So typically this level of membership is $1,000 a year, but because Relias is investing in you and your future, they're paying $50 of it for this year, and so you're able to have access to this for $950. So again, there's kind of a level for everybody. If you kind of just want to try it out, the emerging level is a great way to do it, to kind of just dip your toes in. But you'll definitely find that there's a different level of membership for everybody. And the really beautiful thing about the membership is that as you grow and advance, you're able to move up to the higher levels. Your membership can do the same thing, so it can grow with you. And so, like I said, Relias has really graciously offered to cover $50 of your membership at whatever level you choose. And so really take advantage of that, because it's a huge benefit, and they're really investing in your future and in your professional development and want to support you. So take advantage of it as much as you can. After this presentation, I'm going to distribute the code to you, so I'll go through this later as well, but there's a code you can use when you're signing up for membership, and it'll automatically deduct that $50 for you. All right, so once you become a member, it's a big network. We have quite a few members, and it's spread pretty wide across the globe, with 40 chapters all around the world. So how do you navigate that? So every member has a profile on our site. So similar to how you log into LinkedIn, you have a profile, you set it up, you have a picture. It's a similar thing on our website. So you go in, and create your profile, and you want to gear it towards Ellevate because what you use LinkedIn for is really different than what you're going to use Ellevate for. So you really want to customize it for that. After you go through and fix up your profile, again, I'll kind of step through that a bit. You want to go through and create what we call your inner circle. So, there's different ways to kind of figure out what that might be, whether it's an affinity group of working moms, African Americans, veterans, whatever it might be. We have some different options. You can click those and search with other women within the network who have those similar types of affinity groups or other connections. And you can also look up on our advanced search. You can narrow down and identify other members that you'd want to connect with, whether that's somebody in the same industry or somebody who's in a completely different industry, same as job function or geographical area. So it's a really good way to, connect with others before you even go to events or, before you even really start tapping in to the other resources on the website. All right, and now on to our education, which I mentioned before. The jam sessions, these are our webinars that we host. They're 1 hour. They typically happen once or twice a week. It depends on the time of the year. And generally during lunchtime, so around 12 o'clock, although that does change up every now and then to try and make them more accommodating for all of our members because everybody's schedules are different and because of the global network that everybody's times are a little different. Again, we do record these, so if you ever miss one, you can always go back and review those. These are some of the on-demand jam sessions on the right, so those are a couple of examples. My favorite was using fear as a driver, not an inhibitor. So that was done by Julia Landauer, who's one of our members, which you might recognize her name. She's the youngest, I believe she's the youngest female NASCAR driver, and she's done incredible things. She's brilliant. She graduated from Stanford. She's just really all around incredible. So she led that webinar, which was really great. I really liked it. So I recommend checking that one out if you can. I also want to say if there's a topic of webinar or article or really anything that we don't have, then let us know because we're a network for our members and we're constantly trying to improve. If there's something that you're looking for that we don't have, you're probably not alone. So just reach out to us, let us know. We also do have over 8,000 articles, videos, and podcasts. They're really at the tip of your fingertips any time of day or night. If you ever feel like doing some learning and investing in yourself, then it's a great opportunity to do that. It's a great way to also kind of do learning on the go. Like I said, you can be at the gym and listening to a podcast or watching a webinar, which is pretty incredible. Okey-dokey. So next up, these are some of our upcoming events in your area. So we actually have an event tonight, which is 5 shifts to prevent burnout for women leaders. If you're able to make that, that's amazing. If not, here are a couple of others upcoming. And these are just the in-person events in your local area. So if you're not able to make these, we do have the online type of quote-unquote events such as the jam sessions and the live stream videos. And we also record the live stream videos, so you can always go back and watch those as well. They're in a library on our website too. All right, next up is our morning boost. So this is actually our daily ultra customized newsletter. We came out with this in this summer, so we did have a busy summer as it turns out. And what it is it actually starts to learn what your interests are, what types of things you're clicking on, and it starts to send you extremely curated content. So because we're a large network and everybody's located in different areas and is interested in different things, this newsletter really starts to learn about you and starts to send you a customized newsletter every day that is including upcoming local events, upcoming jam sessions, any sort of account information that they might have to notify you about. We have weekly polls, news, suggested articles. So if you're clicking on things often about how to manage your personal finances or about working mothers or things like that, it'll start to send you those types of articles and jam sessions so that it really does start to learn who you are. I also want to mention, I'm the kind of person who loves ritual, and I wake up in the morning, I read the skim and every morning when I'm in bed. And the other thing I do too is I read my morning boost. So it really just kind of sets you up for the day. You know what's happening. It's a good way to kind of just figure out what's going on, and then you don't really have to worry about it again. And it really just starts off the day with some updates and important information and just keeps that top of mind. So if you're anything like me, then Morning Boost is a real plus for me. I do want to mention too that if daily is too much, if you get inundated with emails, then don't unsubscribe from our emails. If you scroll to the bottom of your Morning Boost, there's a button that says Manage Your Ellevate Email Subscription. Click on that, and there's a way to change it to weekly. So it'll actually just send you the email on Tuesdays, and it'll include, more concentrated information for you. And that way, it's just a really good way to still keep in touch, still, keep up to date on what's happening, but not to unsubscribe, because that will mean that you really don't receive anything from us, and then you won't really know what's going on, and it's just, I don't suggest it. So once you sign up as a member of Ellevate, then you'll start receiving the Morning Boost. If you do not, please let me know as soon as possible, because it could have something to do with your server or firewall or something. So just let me know. So here are a couple of networking tips from Ellevate. Networking is a big part of the game here, and truthfully, not everybody likes networking, or I guess typically what people think of when they think of networking. To be fully honest, I used to hate networking, and the idea of it alone really terrified me. And I think the scariest part really was that when you start networking, and the idea of it is that you walk into a room of strangers, you have no idea what you can talk with them about, you think it's just going to be passing around business cards and having to do a quick elevator pitch and a quick sale, but that's really not the case. And specifically within Ellevate, I have to say, like I said, I've been to a lot of the different events and all over the globe. And they're really not like that. And something that really, really helps me is that when you walk into your first Ellevate event, you can remember that you already have something in common with these women. So you're already a member of Ellevate. So that's the easiest first point of conversation is, how long have you been a member of Ellevate? Oh, I'm brand new to Ellevate. What's your experience been? I mean, there's nothing easier to talk about than Ellevate and kind of what somebody else has been doing. And the other thing, too, that I want to say is that everybody who's a member of Ellevate is not only looking to advance in their careers and to move up their ranks themselves, they're also there to help each other along the journey and to really support one another and invest in each other's future. So keep that in mind. Everyone really is there to help each other, and never dismiss anybody, because you really never know where the next opportunity might come from. Again, those loose connections are really important. And make sure that you're really being authentic. And again, it doesn't have to be about passing around business cards. You can make connections. You can network with people and make really great friends that way, or start attending events with other people, even if they might not be somebody who can really obviously in the foreseeable future help you in your immediate career. So just keep that in mind. Also keep in mind that networking is a two-way street, so that takes a little bit of the pressure off too, going in there and remembering that you have a lot to offer other people, and you have a lot of advice to give and a lot of connections that you can help with. So ask somebody how you can help, and just remember that that's not so scary when you're asking somebody how you can help. So keep that in mind. All right, here are some suggested next steps. Like I said, I'm going to be sending you a brief email after this, which is going to be including the code and some really easy steps to take so that you can sign up for your membership. And then so that will go through your membership. The second thing is to update your profile. So like I said, it's similar to LinkedIn where you have a profile. When you go in and sign up for membership, you want to add a picture on there so people know what you look like, so that they can come up to you at events if they do their homework before an event and see who's attending events, so they can come up to you. Also, you can have your Ellevate profile auto-populate from LinkedIn, which is really easy. It'll do kind of the groundwork for you. But I would say that you do want to go in there and customize it. So you want to remember that this audience is really different than your LinkedIn audience, and your purpose for having this profile is very different than your LinkedIn profile. You want to go in there and customize that, put in there what your goals are, why you're a member of Ellevate, why you wanted to join, and that's kind of a great way to kind of start off. The next steps would be to register for a jam session or a webinar, or all of them that are listed currently. Just add this right into your calendar once you're registered, and that way you can always have them in there. If you're not able to make it, no big deal. but it's nice to kind of just keep those in your calendar so you keep them top of mind. And same with an event. Register for an event, put that in your calendar, get a group of Relias colleagues to go together, and that will also make it a little bit less scary for your first networking event. And then also listen to the podcast. So the Ellevate Essentials, which are the private members-only podcasts, will actually be sent to you in your morning boost for the first 2 weeks of your membership. So they're going to be sent directly to you, so you can always listen to those from those emails. But also you can go on iTunes and download that podcast as well. And then the last step is read your morning boost. There's going to be all of this type of information is going to be in there, the podcast, the events, the jam sessions, articles, all sorts of fun things in there. Okay, so thank you everyone. I'm going to run through the website really quickly too and kind of go through quickly how to navigate signing up for membership. But I just want to mention one last thing. So advancing your career, it takes effort. It doesn't just happen overnight. It doesn't just happen without any effort or work. I like to say, when you sign up for a gym, the mere act of signing up for that, signing the contract, doesn't immediately get you that rockin' beach bod and, get you into that teeny little black dress. It takes a lot of commitment and dedication, and the same goes with Ellevate. So it takes a little bit of time. You can take, a little bit of time 3 times a week or 2 times a week, whatever you can really carve out of your week. The more time you put into it, the better the results you get. And you'll be really impressed if you dedicate some time to this. You'll be really impressed and blown away by all that you can accomplish and really, achieve if you really just put in the time. I also too want to mention that, again, that Relias is investing in you and your potential. They want to support you in your career. They've invested their time and their energy to help support you. So embrace this opportunity and really take advantage of it. Okay, so now let us go through the website. I'm going to share my okay. So here is, we are currently on my dashboard. So this is kind of your profile right when you log in. This is the page that it brings up. This is my little picture over here. And then as we see on the right-hand side, this is going to be suggested webinars and events coming up in my chapters. Because I work here, I am associated with all of the chapters because I like to keep up to date with what's happening everywhere. So yours is going to look slightly different. Again, also there's some admin tools over here which you will not be able to see because, again, this is admin tools. But then, as you scroll down, you're going to see all this great content, upcoming events, things like that. Over here, if you so choose to get Achiever or Executive Council membership, this section on the left-hand side, develop your personal brand and position yourself as an expert in your field. This section is going to be crucial for you when you start wanting to contribute. So this is where you're going to submit an article, submit a member spotlight, which is actually if you have a success, if you get on a board, or if you win an award or something like that, submit submit that about yourself. Don't feel shy. All of our members do it. Great way to spotlight yourself and have us send out all that information. And then a recent success, you can lead your jam session, you submit that here, and you can also post your own events if you have upcoming events, whether they're Relias events or if it's a nonprofit you work for, something like that. You can post those events here. They're not going to actually be sent out in a morning boost. Those are going to be strictly Ellevate events, but I'll show you where up in this event section, upcoming events, they'll be listed there. Down here, these are going to be some suggested jam sessions for me. This is where you can update your goals, your career goals. These are suggested members that I should meet. So again, depending on things that I've been clicking on, these are suggested members who have been spotlighted and who I should meet. These are some articles too that are recommended for me. Okay, now when we go back up to the top, the member directory, this is where you are going to be able to connect with other women and see who else is in the network. This is your inner circle here, so you're able to narrow down based on the chapter that they're in, or you can also My other inner circle tag I have is working at Ellevate Network, so you can have that. If you were a working mom, that would be listed here, so you could click on that easily. I also want to show you the advanced search. So when you go here, you can search by membership here. You can search by chapter here, industry. So if you want to connect to somebody who's in your same network or in a differing network, you can click on that here. Groups, these are going to be our affinity groups. So you can click on these, down that way. You can search specifically job function. So let's just do MC triangle. And then you apply filter here. And then it'll show up the women who are actually in that chapter. So great way to connect with them if you want to see who else is in your chapter. I also want to mention that you're able to contact women at this level. So if you are the same level as another member, you're able to email them directly. There's a little email tab on each person's profile. So you're able to email them directly, but you're not able to email somebody directly if they're at a higher level than you. So let's say you're at emerging, you can connect with anybody who's at the emerging level. If you're at the achiever level, you can connect with anybody at the achiever level or the emerging level. If you're at the executive council level, you can connect with anybody who's in our network because that's the highest level. So keep that in mind too. Upcoming events we have listed here. We also have our previous events. So if you attend an event, you meet a lot of great women, you don't happen to exchange business cards with one person, they have to leave, whatever it might be, you can always go back to a previous event and let's go to this event. Okay, so here you can see who has attended and you can see their names and then look them up the membership directory that way. Next, we have our chapters. This is where you're going to find all of our chapters, what's going on in them, and you can associate each chapter. So if you're in the MC Triangle area, it's likely going to sign you up for that because when you sign up for membership, you put in your zip code, and it'll automatically associate you with the closest chapter. But let's say you're often in, you're back and forth between that area as well as Boston, for instance. You can always go into the Boston chapter and click on that and have this be associated with you as well. That button goes here instead of leave chapter. It says join chapter, and that's just the quickest way to do it. And this, in the chapter page, it'll show you members, member successes, the leadership team too is going to be listed here, and then it'll show you events and other fun things on this part. This little note up here in this section is actually a direct note from the chapter leaders themselves, so you can go ahead and read those and get to know people there. Here are member successes, so you can go through and read and see, what our amazing members have been doing. Maxine Clark, the founder of Build-A-Bear, is one of our great executive council members. So she's, spotlighted here, for instance, and all sorts of other great successes too. We have our member spotlights, which are Q&As with our executive council members, and so it's a great way to spotlight if you're an executive council member. It's a great way to kind of spread your name more. Usually Landauer, actually, the lovely member who did the webinar that I really like. And she also has spoken at a few of our events. She's brilliant. So you can just get to know some of our members better this way. Company directory, you all will be listed here. So these are our Ellevate partners. You'll find them highlighted here. And then it goes into also just other companies. You can always search for a company if there's a specific company you want to look for. If you have a client there or something. The Learn button up at top here, so there's Connect, Learn, and Invest. So the Learn button is where you're going to find the educational content. So the jam sessions, for instance, you'll find all of those here. These are upcoming jam sessions. You can go in and register for those. Again, if you want to go back and watch one, you can go to Jam Sessions on Demand, and you can go back and just view those. So you just click play, and it's easy as that. If you ever want to get in touch with them, they generally put their contact information at the end, so you can always reach out to them directly. These are our articles. So, like I said, we have thousands and thousands of articles. The best way to, if there's something in particular you're looking for, to go into advanced search and look at topics. So let's say you are trying to make the most of your mentorship You can click that, and then you want to just apply the filter. And it'll give you some suggested articles that will help you in that specific topic. This also is going to be where if you, after 2 weeks of your morning boost when you're receiving the Ellevate Essentials podcast, and you want to go back and listen to those, you are going to find those in this article section, Advanced Search, Resource Type, Ellevate Essentials. And then you're going to apply the filter. And these are going to be the Ellevate Essentials that are led by Sally. You can listen to those here. If you are Achiever or Executive Council, you can submit an article through this button as well. Here is our podcast. This is just our iTunes podcast, so you can always go through and check this out, but you can also subscribe to it on iTunes, which I would suggest doing. And then the last sort of bit on this is the videos. So this is the Own It event that we hosted last Thursday. This past Thursday, Sally came out with a book called Own It, The Power of Women at Work, and we hosted an incredible panel of women who spoke to this topic and how they're owning business. And so it was a really great event. I highly recommend looking at this video. That actually was just Sally's opening remarks, but you can watch the entire video right here. And there's other videos on here as well. So check those out. This is where you're going to be, working on your profile. Be on this button. The internet's running a little slow, sorry. This is where you connect to your LinkedIn and it'll auto-populate. This is going to show you all of your chapters. You can join more here as well. This is where I'm sort of leading by a really bad example because I don't have this, but this is where you want to put a little blurb that's specific towards the Ellevate network. It'll put your professional goals, share your story, publish articles, things like that. So go in and make this your own, really, add some jazz to it. So next, I want to just really quickly show you how you're going to join. So I'll send you all this information afterwards, like I said. But what you're going to do is go to our main page, which is just ellevatenetwork.com. This is what you're going to see when you first go to our website. You're going to click Join Ellevate. You are going to go here and put in your name. Samantha someone at gmail.com. So my zip code, I'm going to do my New York zip code, but you're going to put your own in. If you're not in the U.S., you click that button here. Next, you're going to connect with like-minded women. So let's say you are mid-level management here. You're going to select that. What industry you're in, let's say in marketing, and how many years of experience. For 3 years. Continue to the last step. So here's where it's based on that information, it's going to suggest to you a membership level. It's going to tell you a bit about that. If you so decide that you really want to just test it out before you're an Achiever and Executive Council member, that's great. So what you want to do is scroll down here. And you're going to look for Not Quite Right here, and then you're going to click on whichever membership you think is the best for you. So merging. When you go down here, make sure you click on the 1-year membership paid up front. When you do that and you want to click annual, and then put in your billing information here. When you click on coupon code, I'm going to send this code to you, but it's Relias50. And then click on I agree to the privacy policy and terms, and then join our community. That's all it takes. Again, I'm going to send all this information to you, so don't worry about that. We'll help you with that. So back to this. Let's see, do we have any questions at this point? I know I kind of went on there for a bit, but I just want to kind of help you all and show you all the benefits that you have. Okay, we have a question here. I work remotely from Maryland. Do I automatically be added to the NC chapter because that is the location of the corporate headquarters, or can I pick a local chapter near me? So that's a great question. You will not be automatically added to the NC chapter, so when you go in and you sign up for your membership, you're going to go ahead and type in your Maryland zip code there. So when you type that in, it'll automatically associate you with probably the DC, maybe the Virginia chapter, and you can have it that way. And then when you also go into your profile, if you want to, you can sign up for the NC Triangle chapter just to keep up to date as to what's happening there, but you don't have to do that at all. That's totally up to you. All right. Any other questions at this time? We'll just give a couple more minutes. Again, I'm going to send you an email with some follow-up information. So if you can't think of a question right now or something pops up down the line, I'm always here as a contact, not just me, also our entire team. So we also do have a customer service line that you can use, but you can also always call me directly or email me. And I'm always here to help with any questions. All right, I'll just wait for one more minute in case anybody has any last-minute questions. But it's been a pleasure to speak to you all today, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day. And I really look forward to welcoming you into the network. It's really an incredible place. I am blown away every time we go to events, and I see the kind of connections that people are making and the support that everyone's giving one another. And it really is an incredible place, and I know you have a great resource at your hands with Katie, who helps run our North Carolina chapter out there. So, you know, she's a huge advocate for Ellevate and really believes in it too. So take advantage of all that you have at your fingertips, and I look forward to you joining me. All right? Okay. Well, have a wonderful day. Thank you, everybody.